Alright, it's 1 a.m. and I'm gonna make a deck in 1 hour. Gelectrode? So if you haven't seen the show before, Commander Power Hour is a little thing that I do sometimes where I make a commander deck in just 1 hour. And I just usually time myself, get a randomly selected commander, and then start the timer. Usually I finish with a semi-playable deck. Gelectrode. A pinger, and it just untaps when you cast an instant or a sorcery. Kind of like, yes, Thermal Alchemist, but just like you can ping creatures too. Seems decent. I'm glad I put it on the list a while ago. And if you're wondering where I get these lists from, I basically just go through the entire list of possible commanders and just add them to the list. Timer.
Sure. Starting timer.
Okay, and that is some time on the clock now. I think I'm gonna start off, I guess, with a Mind Stone. We're probably gonna want some mana to cast a bunch of spells, and we're probably gonna get to a point in the game where we see, oh gosh, I have to move this to non-land cards. I have to obviously have some extra card draw, because once you get to like something like 13 mana in a game, you probably don't need much more mana than that. Also, some basics. I'm probably going to add some staples like Mystic Sanctuary and the Tragic Lesson combo, and probably Deprive, a counterspell, and whatnot. Then I could definitely probably add like all of the blue cantrips. Okay, great. Already half full. Looking not bad. Probably need a little bit more than this. I'm gonna cut down on these lands as I go. Geez, what else makes this deck great? We're probably gonna need Thermal Alchemist. Oh hey, we can play Gush, can't we? We can play Gush. We can play all the good spells. Keep in mind, this is technically not Pauper. It is a Pauper Commander format. It is both. So these don't technically count. Now we do need ways of closing out the game. Here, I'm looking for big dumb enchantments that are actually really good. Sickle of Flames, another creature without flying attacks you or Planeswalker. Yeah, that's right. That's legal in this. That's legal in this format, but not regular Pauper. Iron Rune Expedition just seems like an easy 2-for-1. It just seems like an easy 2-for-1. Mystic Remora. Hey, the weirder Mystic Study. Oh, nice. There is Omen of the Sea, and there is Omen of the Forge. We don't have a lot of enchantment synergies. I mean, this is just a fatter Preordain that's at instant speed. Lets you scry a little bit more as like a mana dump. You know, actually, if the games are going longer, which is probably what we're, going for, this might be not half bad. Okay. Let's go to creatures that are preferably huge. Let's see. Greater than 5? Yeah, sure. Greater than 5 in our colors. I'm already certain that there isn't much, but I know there are some newer cards that are coming out. We're gonna need mana rocks. But first we should, oh yeah, Bonder's Ornament. We want this one because it fights other people's Bonder's Ornaments. Yeah. Oh god, Bonder's Ornament is, oh wait, it's 24 cents right now. Oh sweet. Oh God, $26. Oh Jesus, online is $26. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. But am I gonna pay for it for tomorrow's game? Oh yeah, we gotta find that Quicksilver dagger. Dark Steel pendant and Dark Steel ingot are have been featured on this show before for just being straight up good, and indestructible doesn't hurt. Expedition map to find our Mystic Sanctuary and other fixing. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of turn 1 ramp in these colors in this format. The reason for Firebolt is it's a 2-for-1 targeted removal and helps us take advantage of the graveyard. Well, Quicksilver Dagger attaches to our commander, which untasks whenever we cast an instant or a sorcery. We get to shoot our opponent, draw a card, and then hopefully that card is like a cantrip or something. We get to play this again, shoot our opponent, play this again, shoot our opponent, or shoot one of our opponent's things instead. You know, we get to keep doing stuff. We get to keep moving. Might be a bit of a deal. The Stealth Suit is just a counter spell that works for target removal by throwing around Shroud. But look up for Genitus. Yeah, we might want to hit on other people's graveyards. We have storm cards in this format, don't we? We have storm cards in this format. Oh yeah, they invite me to a game, and I'm just like, ah, storm? Grape shot you for too much? Kill you? I think High Tide's legal in this format. Do we dare? Grape shot, empty the Warrens, Temporal Fissure. Yeah, those are some storm cards. And we do have Merchant Scroll and some other stuff. Swirling Sandstorms is a good Wrath spell to catch up. Oh yeah, we'll add that to the deck. Of course. We'd love to. Hindering Touch, probably not as good as Scattershot. Helps us win spell fights, counter fights. After our opponent has counter one of our spells, and we're just like, alright, 4 mana, counter some of your spells unless you pay 2 for each of them. And you know what? Let's look up all of the cards banned in Pauper. Oh yeah, these are the cards that got banned because they were not PC something or other. Don't remember. Don't have time. Treasure Cruise. Yeah, Treasure Cruise. Of course we want Treasure Cruise. And we want fetch lands for those, don't we? We want fetch lands to go with that Treasure Cruise. I think we'll be fine taking the Trinket Mage. We're not exactly breaking the bank here with a Trinket Mage and 5 targets. And we could add one land in here. We could add 1 artifact land. Well, Great Furnace. We could take Great Furnace. We probably are going to want a Rolling Thunder as a actual Wrath spell. And we have, how many of these counter spells lined up for ourselves? We have, wait, where do they actually start? Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only got 5 spell interactions. I mean, Grape Shot's going to feel a little bit more like a Wrath spell than actually kill our opponents in one go kind of spell. Do we even have Tragic Lesson in here? Keep in mind, never played in this format before. I've only ended up checking out some gameplay. So that's the old way of that I used to do this. I used to literally just have to copy and paste, bring it over to taproot.net, and keep going back and forth. So it actually took a lot longer. We could Condescend. They always fall for the Force Spike. We could play Mnemonic Wall in this deck, and Archaeomancer. Okay, we have some cards. We have some plans to end some games. We do have some game enders. We probably need blockers. We probably need blockers and things to do. How many pieces of ramp do we have? Okay, we got 11 ramp spells. Plus, we get a Mystic Remora, Electric Ring. Add 1 to the deck that we can tutor with the Merchant Scroll, and that we can potentially shuffle away. We have plenty of cantrips. We have just the right amount, I think. We have some good finishers and some good stuff going on here. The Thermal Alchemist is a good early blocker. We might want Augur Bolas, actually. 11 counter spells. I don't feel like that's too many. We'll put the 1 Dispel in the maybe section. I can probably get rid of the Think Twice. Omen of the Sea, I'll probably chuck you in the maybe section. Darksteel Ingot, yeah, I think I might chuck you out as well. I could probably chuck out a lot of these cards and probably just go over and grab as many rituals as I can. Where's Das Demonic Wall? They said I couldn't play Invisible Stalker. I'm just being fair. They said I couldn't play Invisible Stalker. I'm getting the Augur Bolas instead. Yeah, that's fine. Goblin Electromancer. You are a card that I can play. Seems fine. Actually, since we are Storm, we might want this Lotus Petal. Because this is 0 mana Storm count. Yeah. Desperate Ritual. I think this is legal in Pauper. Champions of Kawagama says it was originally common. Same with Pyretic Ritual. I think I'm going to have like an extra 10 minutes done with this deck. Oh, Inner Fire. Yeah, no, that's a card. That's a card. I can put cards in my hand if you want to do that. Mana Geyser. Hey, we'll cut a few cards. Ooh, Rite of Flame is a card that does stuff. Seething Song is also a flame. Is a card that does stuff. Sweet. Simeon's Spirit Guide. I got Red Blood Pet over here, and I got Simon's Spirit Guide. No, you're not adding to my storm count. You are by just technically cycling. You do nothing but just literally add to the storm count at that point. Even so, you're worth just like taking a quick look at. Oh god, some of these are much. It's so much harder to build a Commander Storm deck because there's not a ton of great options. Oh, where's that stupid prospector? Goblin prospector. That's electric ray. Is my annoying? Oh yeah, skirk prospector. We'll stuff you in the maybe. We'll cut the one dissolve. We'll cut the maybe the bone to ash. Oh, temporal fissure. You're 5 mana. That is a lot. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand. I don't think that you are game winning. I mean, you're playable in Pauper, but I don't think that you're game winning here. Our opponents have tons of permanents, and you know you are just not. You know, you're just not gonna pick up that many things because we can't develop a storm count of a bajillion in short order. We don't have Metamorphose here, and we don't have a lot of stuff. I'm expecting that we can get like a storm count of maybe 4 or 5 relatively easily, and then cast a storm spell like Empty the Warrens for like, you know, 3 or 4 or 5, and then get 10 1/1 red goblins, attack in to our opponent. Then they have to, one of them has to find Wrath spell and deal with it while we're just rebuilding our board and poking our opponent and poking their stuff and getting other things out of the way and setting up other stuff. They have to literally answer that, which they might not. Otherwise, we might be able to develop a nice fireball and shoot our opponent in the face for all at once too much. Another Serum Visions. I think Opt is better than Serum Visions. Or, actually, Sleight of Hand. We'll, with all of our fetches, Sleight of Hand gets a lot worse. Put in the maybe. Good, we have the one Tragic Lesson, thank God. I think that might be one of the few things that holds this entire deck together. We'll get rid of the IR Rune Expedition. Seems nice. Probably don't need it that bad. It seems like we do have plenty of ways of getting card advantage and casting a lot of spells. I'm willing to cut the Spire Golem. I'm willing to cut that, go down that. Rely on just these few big creatures. Yeah, we can cut the Warped Landscape. Actually, we can just cut one mountain. Use the Warped Landscape to go get a mountain, thinning our deck. Study High Tide. Yeah, we do want fewer mountains and more of the islands. So that means we should probably be cutting some other stuff. How many sources of fixing do we have? 8, 9, 10, 11? Ooh, yeah, I'm willing to cut a Highland Lake here and another mountain. Great, 35 lands. Good deck at 102 cards. 5 minutes. 5 minutes left. Oof. Really cutting it close. Don't like that. I'll probably just end up having to cut this Rite of Flames. It's just 2 mana for a card. Or actually, I could just cut another cantrip. I could cut one of the ones like Serum Visions in particular. Move to maybe. And we can... Yeah, I'll keep the Electric Ray and the other ones. I think they're just enough to throw our opponent off and stop them from what they're doing and their annoying thing. Circle of Flame is also pretty great. Oh yeah, Mantle of Tides. What do you attach to? What do I stick Mantle of Tides onto? Shift Riverwinder, River Wheel Airlist, Remock Wall, Chaomancer. I don't think I really stick this onto much. We'll put the other maybe. Okay, and that is the deck. Done editing. Alright, and we finished just in time with a little bit of glitching here. Hey, couldn't help but notice. You don't really want to stay in your lane there. With this commander, this pinger that untaps whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, I wanted to take advantage of untapping with instants and sorceries really, really quickly. And also take control of the board. What you can end up doing with this commander and this deck is you can end up going and just saying, alright, cast cantrip, cast this and this and this. Great. I get to have a bunch of untapped triggers on the stack, and I get to shoot that thing, I get to shoot that thing, I get to shoot that and that and that and that and that. Wrath my opponent's board, For each one of those cantrips, I might have taken a creature and I might have like fixed my draws for the future turns. You get like a little bit of extra value that way. It's partially a wrath on a body for smaller creatures. And I'm pretty excited actually for the ability to wrath away my opponent's small stuff. That seems perfectly fine. Plus, when you're casting lots of these other like spells really quickly in a row, and just like going off, when you end that chain of board wiping with something like Empty the Warrens, which is really my like star win condition there. Empty the Warrens for maybe, who knows, I think I might be able to get as much as 12 with this deck. It feels like I could get quite a bit. It depends how late the game goes. I don't really want it to go that late. If it goes really, really late, I could end up going through a series of cantrips and a couple of rituals, and then put Empty the Warrens onto the battlefield, make 20 goblins in one turn, plus some. And I get to ping my opponents for a bunch. I might kill somebody or kill some of their creatures, get them out of the way, and then attack with a bunch of goblins and kill my opponent that way. I don't really want goblin storm nonsense. I'm not I don't want to be reliant on too much jank. I kind of want my deck to have a good showing of what my channel is about, which is testing out new strategies and really trying to push the envelope and trying to like actually develop something in Pauper, like real decks that actually have an impact on the format, like bringing back Treasure Cruise. Come on, unban Treasure Cruise. You know you want to. You know you want that Ancestral Recall in Pauper. Oh yeah. Blue for life. Yeah, we know. Yeah, it's over. For my mana base, I went real simple. I primarily wanted to go mostly for blue, so that way I could get, the island count for Mystic Sanctuary, but I also really wanted to fix for red and just have just a few red colors that I need. Because if you look at my deck, I am mostly blue, and a lot of my colorless spells do fix me and help me find red sources. I'm more red when it comes to the sorceries, but the red sorceries themselves a lot of times produce like red mana, like the Rite of Flame or some of these rituals. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I kind of like Circle of Flame. I don't ban card, but you can get a bunch of tiny creatures to attack into you and just die and burst into flames real quick. Comboing this with Electric Creature seems nuts. Like you get to Circle of Flame, then you Electrocrate, get rid of all of their tiny creatures. Like a lot of creatures just can't attack into you because your opponent knows that it's there, so they won't do anything with it. They'll have to rely on like finding a big pump spell, which doesn't really exist in Pauper. You need one of the commanders that pumps to get through it, which is only like one or two, and most people aren't playing those. So yeah, that Circle of Flames is brutal. Ulamog's Crusher is just like a clean, fair way to end the game, and you can resort to this kind of control strategy towards the end of the game where you're just like, all right, I still have resources, other people are down on resources, I have some amount of card advantage. Play out River Aerialist, try your best to protect it, and try to like storm off a bit and punch them with a flying prowess creature for too much, and that should be good. Too bad I didn't include Ninja, but I don't think Ninja would have been great here. I think it's very easy to comfortably block a 0-1 with no evasion, unlike Invisible Stalker. Alright, and that is the deck. It is after 1 a.m. I think it's 2 a.m. I am really tired, but excited for tomorrow's gameplay with Chid3 and Diego. I tried to invite some people at the last second because one of the people weren't responding, and I couldn't quite organize everybody. And Diego and Chet 3 couldn't find too many other people. So, cutting it close. I hope we have one person who responds by tomorrow morning and just like says miraculously, I have a mic and a webcam and I want to play PTH. I have a deck, luckily. Oh god, I really hope. That is all for now. Crack some clues, meddle with some mages, and name some spells. Coming in for that face touch.